And now I would like Daniela to do the roll call.
Okay. Please, everyone, pay attention. And when you hear your association, just type a Y in the chat. Okay. AFO Austria, VFXO Belgium, SAFPON Bosnia and Herzegovina, BPHSA Bulgaria, CPSA Croatia, SUPSA Cyprus, USF Czech Republic, TURS Estonia, FIPSA Finland, ANEP France, BPHD Germany, GPSF Greece, HUPSA Hungary, IPSA Ireland, LPSA Latvia, SFD Lithuania, MPSA North Macedonia, KEDO, ENDO, SDO, Netherlands, NOPSO Norway, PPSA Poland, APF Portugal, FASFRA Romania, NAPSTER Serbia, FPSA Slovakia, SHSTFD Slovenia, PEP Spain, SNAP Sweden, ASEP Switzerland, UPS International Turkey, BPSA United Kingdom. Okay, we have 27 voting members present.
And I read the standing orders.
All right. The next point on the agenda is the Audit Committee. And first, I would like to remind you that for the Audit Committee and the Parliamentary Council, the reports will be voted on right upon the questions, so not like the other departments. And for this, I would like to ask one of the Audit Committee members to please present the updates. Jelle?
Thank you, Aline. Jelle Stoelinga, Audit Committee member. After the report was sent out, we finished auditing the financial documents of EPSA, finished auditing the financial documents from AA19, attended 2 meetings with the treasurer, attended the second team meeting, and attended the preliminary financial meeting for the GA.
Thank you, Jelle. Now we can take questions from on the updates. I see none. Are there any more comments or questions on the report itself? I see no questions on the report. Then we can move on to the, let me see. So we will vote yes on the motion, and the motion reads the 16th EPSA General Assembly accept the Audit Committee Autumn Assembly Reports 2020-2021. First, I open the floor for discussion. Mihai?
Yeah, President, I see no points on the speaking list, so I close the floor for discussion.
Okay, then I would like to ask you to type for, against, or abstain in the chat. All right. I see that Anne Frans voted twice, so we have to do the voting again. I would like to ask PC to draw a line again. Okay, and again, we will vote on the motion. The 16th EPSA General Assembly accept the Audit Committee Autumn Assembly Report 2020-2021. Please type for, against, or abstain in the chat. Okay, there were 27 votes for, so the motion is carried unanimously. Okay, and for this point, I want to pass the facilitation to Mihai.
Thank you. Now we will discuss the report of the Parliamentary Council, but before that I would like to invite the PC to present the updates since they wrote the report. Bianca?
Thank you. PC attended and facilitated the second team meeting, attended department meetings, chaired and facilitated the GA preparation meeting, attended the audit meeting, prepared documents for the GA package and sent them to Daniela, made the GA presentation, had a meeting with Mihai and Daniela for GA preparation.
Thank you for the updates. First of all, do we have any question on PC's updates? I see none. So do you have any questions in general about PC's reports? First, I have a new point from KNPSV.
Kathy, KNPSV Netherlands. In your report, you stated that the EA preparation meeting was scheduled for the 28th of October, but it was the 29th. Thank you.
Bianca?
Thank you for that. We will amend the report. As a thing, there were some comments during the team meeting that some people would have wanted to see more from PC on communication or within the team and supervision. So if you see that it is necessary, we can drop the report now and amend it and vote it as an AOB.
Thank you, Bianca. Next time, please state your name and position. Next, I will take a new point from AFO.
Malina of Austria. We were wondering whether you have taken any steps regarding the missing minutes from the last mandate. Thank you.
Bianca?
Bianca, parliamentarian. We keep constant communication with Mihai Nitsoiu regarding that. We constantly ask him if he has all of the notes. Both me and Mihai Ionita asked him during OEMs about the notes. So yes, we are trying to get those minutes as soon as possible.
AFO, point to direct.
Malina of Austria. And if you don't get the notes, do you have any course of action? What you're gonna plan to do then? Because at some point you've tried to get them for like half a year. Thank you.
I have a direct from Duarte.
Hello everyone, Duarte, EPSA alumnus and past parliamentarian from the past May. Just because, thank you Marlene for your questions, but I think these questions needs to be done to Mihai Ionita and Mihai Nitsoiu, because the Parliamentarian Council is doing everything that it can. and the problem here is like the Parliamentary Council already raised the concern and did everything. Now the action needs to be on the executive. This part, because the Parliamentary Council cannot do the minutes because it's not neutral and it's completely different things. Here you can just ask about the procedures itself and not about how they will do the minutes. But thank you.
Mihai, President, to further clarify, if by December there is still no movement in that direction, the 2020-2021 executive will take over and will do them. Thank you. And I see no more directs, so I guess we can go to a new point from SHSFD.
Mojca, SHSFD Slovenia. Can you please explain how the work is distributed among the PC members?
Bianca?
Bianca, parliamentarian. Thank you, Mojca. Well, there is work that appears on the spot, and we try to distribute it as equal as possible. But if personal problems occur, I take over the tasks. And regarding GA, we divided facilitation and tasks for preparation. For example, ERA did the presentation. I worked on the regulation changes. Eileen worked on the other documents. So we try to make it as equal as possible. And also, as you know from the report, supervision is already divided on departments.
I see no other new points. So I guess we can move on to the next point on the agenda, and that is voting the report of the Parliamentary Council 2020-2021. If you could move to the next slide, please. Clarification from AFOP.
Malina, AFOP Austria. So do we need to now vote against it, or what does it need to happen? Because of, like, Bianca said she wanted to amend it, and now I'm not sure what the best course of action is. Thank you.
Thank you, AFOP, but that was a question for the floor for the discussion on the motion itself. So first of all, let me just open the floor and then we can discuss about the course of the motion. So the motion reads as follows. The 60th EPSA General Assembly accepts the Parliamentary Council Autumn Assembly Report 2020-2021. With this, I open the floor for discussion, and I would like to ask the PC to answer to the question received from AFOP. Bianca?
Bianca, parliamentarian. The one with the date 28, 29 is not such a big change, let's say. It's a date. But if you feel that you didn't see something in our report, tell us to amend it and vote against it. But that is your decision to make. I don't know if you attended team meeting, but there were some points on drop of activity of team members, and a statement from PC was asked, but that is also minuted, and it can be seen in the team meetings minutes. So it is your choice if you vote for or against.
I see no other points on the speaking list, so I close the floor for this. Okay, I will not close it. I will take one new point from Svetlana.
Yes, hello everyone. Just to also maybe suggest that if you want to make amendments to the report, the GA can also decide to postpone the voting, so to lie the motion on the table until a specific date with a definition of what changes need to be implemented. So you don't have to vote against before that. Over.
Thank you for the clarification. I still see no other points on the speaking list, so I close the floor for discussion and we will proceed to the voting procedure. The 60th EPSA General Assembly accepts the Parliamentary Council Autumn Assembly Report 2020-2021. Please cast your vote for, against, or abstain in the chat. We have 26 votes for and 1 abstention. The motion was carried, and with this I pass facilitation back to PC.
Thank you, Mihai. And with this, we can move on to the next point, the European Affairs Department. And for this, I would like to ask Jess to give updates on her report. Yes, Jess, you can go.
Jess VPA, apologize in advance for the length of this, but I'm trying to keep it transparent. So to start, I have been helping Andrea with the methodology booklet Annex 1 endorsements and responses, coordinated ESAS by finishing the autumn meeting agenda and setting 2 polls for meeting dates, liaised with the University of Antwerp about the vaccination in curricula survey for a meeting about the data analysis, liaised with PGU about the Professional Qualifications Directive data analysis and presented the data to members at a working group meeting, coordinated the rest of the EPSA Mobility Week initiative with the group and ensured the translatable infographic was promoted. I liaised with Bram Wagner, IPSF Euro chairperson for IPSF's endorsement on pharmaceuticals in the environment position paper. I made a Brussels representation calendar and updated it with all the interns' online activities thus far. I attended an event on mental health needs of healthcare workers as part of the health policy platform and reached out to Mental Health Europe for more involvement. I hosted the October EduProf meeting on public consultations and sent all the details to EduProf. I started preparing the policy session for the Autumn Assembly. I requested European Parliament accreditation for Brussels interns. I attended the 2 internal public health campaign meetings where we prepared an AMR advocacy plan. I set the timeline for the European Antibiotic Awareness Week campaign, sent the email of activities to the members and sent the PR form. I revised the last AMR stakeholder network meeting minutes and also revised their position and exercise on case studies for AMR initiatives. I liaised with MedTech Europe about endorsing their position on AMR. I liaised with EU JAMRI, so they are the Joint Action on Antimicrobial Resistance. About their next conference, I wrote a policy newsletter article. I started filling out the EA activities for the grant, kept up with Twitter engagement for online events, including the EU Health Summit, medicine shortages by EHP, and an event on the European Health Union. I started LinkedIn posts for advocacy. I liaised with the European Society of Clinical Pharmacy on their clinical pharmacy study, as they want to involve some EPSA members in it. And I have also reviewed all the work of my coordinators, attended the second team meeting, read all the team reports, attended the OD meeting and the pre-GA meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Jess, for the updates. Now we can take questions on these updates. I see none. Then we can move on to the questions to the report. Okay, first we have APEF.
Ines APEF Portugal, first we would like to congratulate you for your work and availability. We are really glad with the communication and the work you have done so far. Regarding the European Young event, have you contacted IPSF about a joint delegation or do you intend to? Thank you, because it's stated in the MOU, it should be a joint delegation. Thank you.
Jess?
Jess VPA, thank you for the compliment. I presume you mean the European Youth Event. I got an email that it will be held in, it was the end of May, and that they'd follow up with more information. We haven't received any more information on it. And in regard to collaborating with IPSF, that also needs to be discussed as soon as the call comes out for EYE itself. But that is the plan.
Next up is EPSA.
EPSA Ireland, I just want to commend you and your department team on the communication through emails. It's been second to none and really well laid out communication. I just have a question on your report 2.1.5 sustainability, your plans for the remainder of the mandate on determining how EPSA can be more environmentally friendly as an association. Do you have some examples of what you might perceive to be these plans?
Jess?
Jess CPA, I can see Mihai smiling at his laptop screen about this. I am considering coming to the executive with a motion about proposing EPSA to be as paperless as possible. But I haven't come to a conclusion yet, and I haven't brought it to the executive. But that is something I am considering at the moment. And in regard to other activities, as I said in the report, I am a panel speaker for the European Health Management Association and their event on sustainability. And I also want to include the EduProf platform and just explain a bit more about what sustainability is. There's a variety of different topics in that. So yeah, that will be done in 2021.
Then we have KNPSV.
Cathy, KNPSV Netherlands. Filling in a professional qualification directive on a national level was quite difficult because not all universities teach the same courses. When we combine the information from all individual universities in one document, the document was not really reliable and it might not give a clear overview. I just wanted to ask why you decided to have it filled in by each association on a national level and not just per university. Thank you.
Jess?
Jess VPA. To clarify, the work for the PQD was started by my predecessor, They had already discussed with PGU about how they were going to go about the data analysis. That wasn't up to me. But I do agree that this was the best way to go about it because Piotr can back me up on this. It took a long time to go through the data analysis with all the different associations. There were a lot of questions and there were outliers in the questions as well. And we needed to write documents and come up with graphs and like a secure data analysis plan. So if we were to get that for every association, that would be like a thesis for like a master's or more. So it just wouldn't have been possible.
Next we have SSVD.
Mojca SSVD Slovenia. At the last GA, your predecessor Tilen suggested or said that he finds it beneficial to have a public health coordinator and social services under the VPA department. Can you please state your opinion regarding that?
Jess?
Jess VPA, interesting question. My opinion is that the department has too much going on already. I barely have time to breathe, let alone have another coordinator in my department. So I disagree with this. Also, I believe that the public health campaigns are more educational, and I think that there should be a strong link with the VPA and help to coordinate the calendar. But in regards to materials, I don't think that that should be under my department because it's more educational and it would take too much time.
Next, we have a new point from BPHD.
Korea and BPHD Germany. Having in mind that advocacy and advocacy projects are one of the main objectives of the work of BPHG Germany. Internally, we would really like just to express our gratitude and appreciation of your reliability and the working environment you have created so far throughout your mandate, because it's of extreme importance for all pharmacy students to be engaged into the advocacy making process of EPSA, and you put a lot of effort into this. Thank you.
Jess with a direct.
Jess VPA, thank you very much for your kind words. I also agree that advocacy is extremely important, and it is the way forward for the pharmacy profession. We're known to be a really quiet profession, and it would be really great to get pharmaceutical students more involved with activities so that we can raise the voice and make pharmacy a louder healthcare profession in Europe.
Miruna Fesfere, Romania. Congrats on the work done so far. We are delighted to collaborate with you and the European Affairs Department, and we are very grateful for all the help, support, and validation you have provided regarding our advocacy activity on national level. Thank you.
Next, we have Kane PSV.
Kathy, Kane PSV Netherlands. We first wanted to congratulate you on your good work. In your report, you mentioned that you communicated the outcomes of the discussion of the future mental health in Europe on Twitter. Have you also shared these outcomes on other platforms, or do you plan to include this in the position paper on mental health? Thank you.
Jess.
Jess CPA. So I work mostly on Twitter for engagements because it's the easiest to engage with professionals and stakeholders. As I said previously, I'm also trying to engage in LinkedIn. It's more so professional, but I think we can make more of an effort advocacy-wise if there's general agreement. And in regard to position paper, yes, we have big plans for mental health for 2021. It will be our main focus for advocacy, and you'll see a lot more on that then.
Okay, next up we have 2 new points from alumni, I guess.
Yes, that is true. Carolina, alumni coordinator. So the first one is from Eva AAB. Have you considered possibly publishing any time of EPSA research and or opinions, yes, in scientific journals? It was done in the past, and I saw EPSA was part of something like this recently as well.
Jess.
Jess VPA. It's not something that I looked into before, to be honest. If this is an area that any alumni can advise us on, so myself and Joseph, we can also discuss it between ourselves because it is educational as well. Any help on that or advice would be appreciated. I'll also add it to the agenda of the SS meeting so I can ask EPSA about it and see if we can start on it this Monday.
Another new point from alumni.
Yes, Carolina, alumni coordinator. This one is from Patrick AAB about the representation. How do you keep yourself and the other permanent officers in Brussels motivated for future representation possibilities? Would it help to organize virtual coffee dates with other student associations in Brussels, or even try to organize these in working groups members of the European Commission, or even with members of the European Parliament themselves?
Jess.
Jess CPA. To be honest, in regard to keeping the interns motivated for future representation, I don't think this is a problem because everyone's so eager to get out there and meet people. But for keeping an eye out on valuable online events, we aren't just attending them for the sake of it. We do discuss, and we like to have actual outcomes by attending them. In regards to the coffee dates, I never thought about this, so thanks for highlighting it. I have been involved with other organizations in Brussels at the moment. We just haven't been able to meet, so I'll keep that on board. And for coffee dates with commissioners and MEPs, I'll also be much aware of this for the future and see if I can take it on board. Thank you.
And with this, I covered all the questions on the reports. Are there any more comments or questions? And I see none. And with this, we can move on to the next point on the agenda, the grant coordinator. And I would like to ask Joanna to present her updates. Joanna?
Joanna, grant coordinator. So since writing the report, I've sent information about the Erasmus Plus grant to team members after the call on the grant was opened. I started working on the general part of the application, and I drafted a survey about grants and awards to be sent to the LSs later on.
Thank you, Joanna. Are there any questions on the updates? I see none. Then we can move on to the questions from on the report. First, KNPSV.
Cathy, KNPSV Netherlands. Creating a document with already assessed and investigated grants sounds like a very good idea. It might take some time in the beginning, but in the end, it will save you and all your successors a lot of effort. And this is a very good idea. Thank you.
AFOP.
Malina, AFOP Austria. In your report, you mentioned the grant that was not taken by the European Youth Grant that was not taken because of the short deadline. Is this something you want to keep in mind for your successor, or have you, after looking at it, decided that you will not investigate for next year? Thank you.
Joanna?
Joanna, grant coordinator. Thank you for thank you for the question. Yes, as I've stated in my report, this year the grant was not taken into consideration. For the future, yes, I think it will be viable for the next team members to assess it one more time. There wouldn't be any other research gone into that because it was investigated very thoroughly. But I will definitely advise my successor to look into it one more time and decide with the future team members if they want to apply or not.
Next, we have PPSA.
Paulina, PPSA Poland. First of all, on behalf of PPSA, I would like to thank you for all the amazing work you have done so far. And my question is, do you already have any ideas about possible ways to provide members with all the grant and award information?
Joanna?
Joanna, grant coordinator. So yes, I do have some ideas, but I don't want to stay in, let's say, my bubble and like introduce something that I think would be interesting or valuable for members. I want the LSs to state their opinion on that, and that is why I've prepared a survey that I will release to members to assess what is the situation of the grant and awards in different countries, and from that I can then take all of that into consideration and come up with a plan that will be helpful to all or most of the members. Thank you.
And I can see that we have no more new points on the speaking list, and that means we can move on to the next point on the agenda, the Policy Affairs Coordinator. And I would like to ask Piotr to give us updates. Yeah, you can go, Piotr.
Piotr, Policy Affairs. Since submitting my report, I attended a two-prof platform meeting. I worked on minutes from that. I attended a meeting with Jess, Joseph, Zahra, and Maeva regarding European Antibiotic Awareness Day. I finalized the survey for the Annex 2 of Methodology booklet with Andrea. I investigated survey platforms for that. I was monitoring news for the policy newsletter. I opened the threads with EduProf representatives and collected news from the interns. I started preparing the policy session for the autumn assembly and with Jess, and I attended the team meeting.
Thank you, Piotr, for your updates. Are there any questions on the updates? I see none. Then let's move on to the questions on the report. First, we have KNPSV.
Kathy, KNPSV Netherlands. The translatable document was a very good initiative. We have shared both the translated and the original version with our members through social media. Translating the document was only a little work for us, and it helped reach a lot of people who might not understand English. We really like this initiative as it brings EPSA closer to the students who do not really speak English very well, and therefore bringing EPSA to a more positive view. Thank you.
Next, we have PPSA.
Joanna, PPSA Poland. On behalf of PPSA, I would like to congratulate you and thank you for all of the initiative. And we are very grateful for the opportunity to submit information to the policy newsletter, and thank you for creating these opportunities for EPSA members. I have one question in regards to online discussion forum. Which topic would you like to bring to attention during the first discussion forum that you mentioned? Thank you.
Piotr.
Piotr, Policy Affairs. So the first online discussion forum will happen around the European Anti-Plastic Awareness Day and will be related to the interprofessional collaboration in the antimicrobial resistance.
Jess?
Jess VPA. When you check your emails, you'll see a big long email from me about all the activities for the European Antibiotic Awareness Week, and ODS is one of them.
Next, we have a new point from APEF.
Carolina, APEF Portugal. We want to congratulate you about your job until now, and we want to question how will you encourage other members to participate in the policy newsletter when approaching them, and what kind of strategies do you intend to use if the engagement remain quite low? Thank you.
Piotr.
Okay, thank you for your question. Piotr, Policy first. And yes, I already approached some few associations that I saw they had some advocacy initiatives to submit the policy newsletter, and a few of them already agreed to submit an article. And for the strategies, so far, the engagement within the policy newsletter is quite good. So yes, I will try to keep it at this same level, and if any problem happens, I will try to find a solution.
Thank you, Piotr. And I see no more points on the speaking list. So I believe we can move on to the next point, the External Relations Department. And we will start with the Vice President of External Relations. Since you can present your updates.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to know that you can hear me well, because last time I was lagging. Okay, thank you very much. I want to propose that my report, due to some mistakes that I've made, to be dropped, and also to lay on the table until the AOB sections, meaning that all the discussions and questions and also the updates will be presented there, if everyone is okay with that.
Mihai with a technical.
Hey, President, so to explain this a bit in a more procedural way, if you agree with her proposal, we will need a 9.6 proposed, seconded, and passed to move this point of the agenda to the AOB, and then also to take a report out of the block and still have another 9.6 and vote that one as well in the AOB section. Thank you.
And we have a 9.6 proposed by KNPSV, seconded by EPSA. And first, I would like to give the floor to KNPSV.
As Mihai mentioned, we would like to postpone this until later.
EPSA, do you agree?
EPSA Ireland, yes, we agree with KNPSV because we're also happy with postponing this until AOB, as Mihai stated.
Okay, and by this I open the floor for discussion on the 9.6. Mihai?
Mihai, President, I close the floor for discussion on the 9.6.
Okay, now we can vote on the 9.6. So I would like to ask everybody to vote for, against, or abstain on the 9.6. Okay, we have 26 votes for. So the motion is carried, and this will mean that this motion will lay on the table until the AOB point next Saturday. Okay, and with this we will move to the next point on the agenda. Let me see, Central IMP Coordinator. So I would like to ask Alexandra to present her updates.
Alexandra Simp. In here, I would like to also propose the same procedure with the Cynthiana due to some mistakes with my report to postpone it to the AOB on the next week.
And we have a 9.6 proposed by KNPSV, seconded by EPSA. And I would like to give the floor to KNPSV.
Kathy, KNPSV the Netherlands, like Alexandra said, she would prefer this, so I say we postpone it to the AOB. Thank you.
EPSA.
EPSA Ireland, yes, I agree with both Katie and Alexandra that if this is preferred due to mistakes made or in the report or anything, I will be happy to say that it should be postponed to AOB next Saturday.
Thank you. With this, I open the floor for discussion. Mihai.
Mihai, President, I close the floor for discussion on the 9.6.
Okay, now we can vote on the 9.6. Please state for, against, or abstain in the chat. And we have 27 votes for. So the 9.6 is carried, and again, this motion lays on the table until the AOB of next Saturday. And with this, we can move on to the next point, the mobility coordinator. And I would like to ask, I don't know if he's here. Yes, Christian, thank you. To present your updates, please.
Yeah, can you hear me? If I can just get confirmation in the chat, maybe. All right, cheers. Okay, so since submitting my report, I shared a Google form for applications for online interprofessional TwinIt with EPSA. We received 14 EPSA and 15 EPSA applications. I responded to emails from new TwinIt coordinators and provided them with information regarding the TwinIt and online TwinIt. I also accepted them into Facebook and WhatsApp groups after they filled out the yacht forms. I created a doodle for the first EPSA and EPSA online meeting regarding the online interprofessional TwinIt. For the TwinIt coordinators, I had a short online meeting with EPSA's representative Umut to pick the doodle date and time, as well as decide on how to approach the pairing up of the coordinators. And lastly, I informed the TwinIt coordinators about the date and time of the EPSA online meeting, which will be on Sunday. And that's about it.
Thank you, Christian. Are there any comments or questions on the updates? I see none. Then we can move on to the questions or comments on the report. First, we have KNPSV.
Kati, KNPSV the Netherlands. We want to congratulate you on your hard work. We have contacted you a couple of times regarding the organization of the TwinIt project, and you were always very responsive. As mobility coordinator, the current pandemic has a huge effect on your function position, as the real-life TwinIts are not taking place right now. So we just wanted to say that we are very delighted to see that you're working so hard on the organization of both the eTwinIts and EPSA Online TwinIts. You're really doing an amazing job in trying to connect both EPSA and EMSA students in new ways during the COVID-19. So thank you.
APEF.
In APEF Portugal, we would like to congratulate you too for your work and for your availability and for helping us regarding our how to become a TwinIt coordinator activity. And now, considering the mobility restrictions, have you thought about an online alternative to the HMP in case you drop the project? We mean some online activity with the same scope of the project. Thank you.
Christian?
For the time being, as HMP includes collaborating with an outside organization, I haven't yet approached any of them for the collaboration, as during this pandemic situation, they aren't very responsive. I did get some tips and some also contacts from Baran Arslan, the previous mobility coordinator. But other than that, we're still evaluating together with the executive how we will approach the future of this project. And to be honest, not much has been done in that regard because of the mobility restrictions in general.
Next we have SSVD.
Mojca SSVD Slovenia. We would also like to congratulate you for all the work you've done and motivation you've shown so far. And my question is, how many EPSA member associations responded to the online TwinIt opportunity?
Christian?
Well, currently I have 4 EPSA member associations which are interested in doing an online TwinIt amongst each other, which is like an EPSA online TwinIt. And as mentioned before in the updates, we have 15 applied EPSA associations and 14 EMSA associations for the interprofessional online TwinIt. So that's where we will proceed then on Sunday after the meeting.
Next, we have a new point from Vasafere.
Yes, Sylvia Fesfer, Romania. First of all, we would like to congratulate you on the online TwinIt initiative and also on the promotion of the mobility project. And just one question, who do you refer to when stating that you wish to receive constructive feedback? Is it from the member associations or the EPSA team? Thank you.
Christian?
I'm referring to both because I don't get much feedback, whether I'm doing my job good or bad, and I would like to know where I can improve as well.
Next, we have Ken PSV.
Henrik K, PSV, the Netherlands. So regarding the interprofessional twins, how will the organizations will be paired up? Will it be completely random, or what do you have in mind? Thank you.
Christian?
We've had a meeting with EPSA's representative Umut regarding that. We've both agreed that the pairing up will be random, so using the random number generator, and so the associations will be paired really randomly. One thing we will consider though is that if the paired associations are from the same country, we will just re-roll that, or if the paired associations have something, some kind of a comment for why they wouldn't organize the interprofessional twinnet with that country, for example, that they've had a twinnet just with that country the previous year, that could also be considered an option. But we'll see after the meeting how they are satisfied with the pairing up, but we will use the random number generator.
Thank you, Christian. And please change your name in the correct way and state your name and position the next time. And next we have Kane PSV with a new point.
Kathy, Kane PSV Netherlands. You mentioned that if you will not have gotten any contacts for NGOs, you will drop the project. Do you thereby mean dropping the humanitarian mobility project for this mandate or cancel it forever? Thank you.
Christian?
If I've already consulted a bit with the executive, Christian, mobility coordinator, I've already consulted a bit with the executive about this. The project wasn't yielding the results in regards to the effort put in. So if we don't get any association to work with or collaborate with on a high level, the project will be dropped completely.
Next we have Seeds PSA.
Sarah, this is PSA. I just want to congratulate you for really great work and making most of this everything online versions. But I wanted to ask, do you think that if the conditions of mobility improve, will this be a basis for live twinnet? So interprofessional or live, interprofessional or just normal twinnet? Do you think that it's going to maybe continue the same combinations as? So, for example, in the next semester or something like that.
Christian,
mobility coordinator. Yeah, the general principle is that the online twinnet project was created during this pandemic situation, but afterwards, I would love to include that in an actual twinnet exchanges, because most of the participants get to first meet each other when they actually visit the other country. So I believe it would serve as an awesome introduction into an actual twinnet exchange, which then could be used every time an exchange is organized, so the participants get to know each other a bit online already. And this will also serve as to the hopefully organization of many future interprofessional twinnets with EPSA, and afterwards perhaps another student organization. So yes, we hope to have this as an introduction to actual exchanges.
Kane PSV.
Kathy, Kane PSV Netherlands. The EPSA Mobility Week took place a couple of weeks ago. Have you noticed any increased interest in either Erasmus Mobility Project or other projects? Thank you.
Christian?
Specific increase in regards to emails or anything, I haven't noticed that. I just did see a lot more interest from the twinnet coordinators in general, and I was very surprised to see so many twinnet coordinators from EPSA apply for the interprofessional twinnet. So I was very happy with that. I don't know if it helped, probably very likely. So it was a very good outcome to have that many member associations interested in pursuing this project.
Next, we have 1 point from alumni.
Yes, Carolina, alumni coordinator. This point is from Gruppen AB regarding humanitarian project. Do you have any ideas of who to connect in order to have maybe some activities for after the pandemic? I think these types of activities have not been very successful in the previous mandates, and a reflection is needed.
Christian?
Christian, Mobility Coordinator. As mentioned in my report, I had a meeting with Baran Arslan, the Mobility Coordinator from 2019-2020 mandate. He has since also provided me with some contacts for the NGOs to contact regarding the HMP. In general, though, we have continued the discussion started in the previous mandates, and we will properly analyze the future of HMP together with the executive to see how to approach this.
And with this, I see no more questions or comments on the report. So I believe we can move on to the next point, the Professional Affairs Coordinator. And would like to ask Susanna to present her updates.
Hello, Susanna, Professional Affairs Coordinator. Could you just kindly confirm if you can hear me? Great. Then, since submitting my report, I created an email thread with other team members regarding the mentoring project edu program. In order to prepare most valuable activities for mentees, Doodle was created and the meeting will be held next week. Our department and Maeva on adjusting the promotional strategy for of the open call for mentees. The LSs were contacted by their bodies and I have started preparing the materials for social media posts. I contacted former mentees in order to receive their testimonials for promotional use. It was shared over the drive with the PR department and LSs. I followed the email thread with Simplivia and provided them with requested information about projects under my portfolio, chat with professionals and mentoring project. I responded to emails regarding the mentoring project applications and created a list of speakers interested in further engagement with EPSA. For example, unaccepted or late applicants for mentors. Thanks.
Thank you, Susanna. Are there any comments or questions on this update? I see none. Then we can move on to the questions on the update. First, KNPSV.
It's more like a small comment. You promoted the mentoring project also via Instagram. In your report, you only stated that it's promoted via Facebook, I think, and maybe LinkedIn.
Susanna with a technical?
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything, so if you could please repeat.
Kati, KNPSV, sorry.
Kati, KNPSV, the Netherlands. Do you hear me now? Just to make sure.
Yes, thanks.
Okay. I just had a small comment because you promoted the mentoring project also via Instagram, and in your report it only states that you promoted, I think, via LinkedIn and Facebook. Thank you.
Okay, I will take a look. I don't have the report now in front of my face, so I'm sorry.
And please, Susanna, state your name and position the next time. And next we have a new point from SVD.
Sanja SVD Slovenia. Congrats on the good work and great promotion of mentoring project. I have a question. How many mentees applied for mentoring project until now? Did you fill in what percentage of the spots did you fill till now?
Susanna, Professional Affairs Coordinator. Yes, I have just checked it a few moments ago, and so far we have 24 applicants.
Okay, thank you, Susanna. Please wait for me to give you the speaking rights. And next we have KNPSV.
Henry, KNPSV Netherlands. So how did the unaccepted mentors respond to the invitations to the other project? Were they interested in participating in those projects? Thank you.
Susanna?
Susanna, Professional Affairs Coordinator. Yes, those that are eligible to engage with us because of there were a few applicants from countries from Africa that are not able to engage with our projects, but those who are eligible to do that, we're very happy to hear that there is an initiative that they can involve in. So I have the contact to them, and I will be thinking of including them either in the mentoring project activities for the mentees or in the chat with professionals or any other activity that we are able to have them involved.
Vasifere?
Silvia Fasfer, Romania. First of all, we really appreciated how well organized you were with the mentoring project. And just one question. What do you think about the attendance rate of the first chat with the professionals? Were you satisfied?
Susanna?
Susanna, Professional Affairs Coordinator. Yes, I think I was satisfied because it was around 30 to 40 attendees, participants, and it was in September, so we had to take into consideration the fact that some of the people had still holidays and they were not able to participate. I hope that during the academic year ongoing, the online activities will be attended even more, especially with the fact that we have the possibility now to, I mean, everyone is working online as well, so it's gonna be just easier. Thanks.
PPSA?
Paulina, PPSA Poland. First of all, I would like to congratulate you on all your work, especially with the mentoring project you have done so far. And my question is about this year's Career Week. Did you consider involving members' associations in organization of this project?
Susanna?
Susanna, Professional Affairs Coordinator. To be honest, I haven't been putting much effort in Career Week so far because I have put in my calendar the first works on this project in December after the whole time of preparation for the mentoring project is done. But I will keep it in mind, and I think this is a very interesting point. Thanks.
Next we have Shishisafide.
Sanja Shishisafide, Slovenia. So I also have a question about Career Week in March, but since you mentioned that you haven't put much thought, I also have a recommendation. If you maybe have thought about including some company presentations and future employees or recruiters, so students as future employees could chat with them and therefore facilitate the recruitment process, because that is the that's something we do in Slovenia as well, and it's shown for great success.
Susanna?
Susanna, Professional Affairs Coordinator. Yes, thank you for that as well. I really appreciate your input on that, and I will keep it in mind. And I will also try to, due to Cynthiana's resignation, we'll see how it goes with the VPER, and I hope I will have the support on this topic as well.
KNPSV?
Kati, KNPC Netherlands. You mentioned that inklarities on the mentoring project subpage leads to a lot of communication, thereby a high workload. What is your plan for updating the information on the MP subpage, thereby decreasing the workload? Thank you.
Susanna?
Susanna, Professional Affairs Coordinator. Regarding the workload for mentoring project, I think we have included plenty of changes to MP handbook that would decrease my my workload on that. And I'm not sure if I answer your question.
KNPSV?
Kathy, KNPSV Netherlands. Well, in your report, you stated that there was a lot of communication between applicants because the information on the MP subpage might not have been clear. So our question was more like, how do you plan on updating the information in order to receive less communication direct from the participants or interested people, because they can already see the information clarified on the MP webpage?
Susanna?
Okay, Susanna, Professional Affairs Coordinator. I think that the MP subpage needs some re-evaluation due to the fact of some applicants' doubts about it. So I think also after the preparation time, because the November will be very busy with the mentoring project preparation, I will take a look into that, and I will try to reevaluate the descriptions that we have to put more clear overview on the project, and therefore it will decrease the potential doubts. But I will also evaluate all the questions that I received from either LSs or the applicants themselves, and then I will try to find out what were the issues with the descriptions. Thanks.
Thank you, Susanna. And I see no more comments or questions on this report. Mihai with the technical.
Mihai, President, we are a bit ahead of time, also because we laid the discussion onto reports on the table. I would like to ask the General Assembly if they are comfortable to move the Internal Affairs Department now and only after to take a break. Please keep in mind that afterwards we'll have Edu, and then we'll have the motions to vote on all the EPSA team reports. Thank you.
Okay, I can see much yeses. So with this, I will pass the facilitation to Era.
Yes, thank you, Eline. So we'll go to the Internal Affairs Department, and we will start with the Vice President of Internal Affairs, Maeva. You can start. Maeva.
Yes, hello everyone. Give me a sec. Regarding my updates, so I attended the second team meeting, the GA preparation meeting, the OD meeting, and the GPROF meeting. I met with OANA and GPSF regarding possible EPSA events organization. I attended the meeting with Mihai and some members regarding some regulation changes laid on the table. I attended a meeting with PR department regarding some external activity, a meeting with Jess, Joseph, Piotr, and Zara to discuss involvement of members in EAD, assisted some LSs with GA preparation, followed up on some members' requests, followed up on the preparation of the Meet Me Fair together with Karolina Volnik, alumni coordinator, assisted Daniela, Dylan, and PC with some GA matters and members, followed up on individual members' application, reached out to AAB to gather some inputs, and attended some WHSS meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Maeva, for your updates. First, we'll take questions on the updates. I see none, and now we'll take questions for the report. Maeva with a technical.
Yes, my technical is that there is quite some problem with like the format of my report, so this will be resubmitted in the G package, but as it's only typos, I will not have to have it dropped. So just any question on the format of the report, you can just drop it because I will change everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Maeva. And now we will take question from KNPSV.
Kathy, KMPC the Netherlands. In your report, you mentioned that you missed some informal engagement of the team. Do you have any plans to improve this, or do you have contacted anyone in the team? Because I think everyone can take an initiative on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Maeva.
Maeva VPIA, thank you for your question, Kathy. This is something that was discussed during the team meeting, and with Mihai President, we are also brainstorming on how to increase the informal engagement with the team and also to make the same ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Maeva. Next, we have APEF.
Inês, APEF Portugal. Maeva, we are really delighted with your work and availability for members. I know you have been doing your best to answer us and keep up with the team members that are not responding to us, so thank you for that. And now we would like to ask you how you will proceed in order to motivate your team for filling the monthly updates and therefore being updated on each other's work. Thank you.
Maeva.
Maeva VPIA, thank you, Inês. Regarding the monthly updates, I will be more consistent and maybe follow up more on each team members to make sure the updates are filled to give them the habit of filling them.
Thank you, Maeva. Next, we have PPSA Poland.
Jana, PPSA Poland. Thank you, Maeva, for your work and your report. In the report, you stated that you contacted association from Montenegro. Can you update us on that? Thank you.
Maeva.
Maeva VPIA, yes, thank you for the question. So I attended the meeting with them and the Mihai President and maybe someone else, maybe PC, I need to check. So basically we came up with the conclusion that they need to rebuild their associations on the national level first to make sure they are more stable and engaged, and then afterwards we will help them to come back in EPSA. So I hope it's enough. I don't know if you need more inputs on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Maeva. So we have a bullshit from Bianca. Why do you all forget about neutrals? And we will take VPSO.
On Sophie, VVSO Belgium, I just really wanted to thank Maeva for all her work she's done. You're always very responsive, and every communication is very clear. So thank you for everything you've done for us.
Thank you. I don't see a direct from Maeva, so I'll move on to Fasifera.
Miruna Fasifere, Romania. First of all, we would like to thank you for your work, great work. And we have a question. Can you provide us some information on the next generation chat? Thank you.
Maeva?
Maeva VPIA, so the next generation chat, I haven't started to work on it properly. However, what I can say for now is that it will happen at around the same period as usually. However, I am considering to have more engagement and different activities around that generation chat to make it as complete as possible, so people get the chance to engage with us if they want to run for the team, considering that we are not able to meet them until now. Thank you.
Thank you, Maeva. Next, we have APEF.
Carolina APEF Portugal. Which is your strategy to improve the number of the Friends of the Association from now on? Regarding that, currently there is no one active. Thank you.
Maeva.
Maeva VPIA, well, this is a plan that was brought during the team meeting. And what I said is that this status is not my priority for now. I would rather focus on engaging members and individual members. First, because those, when I checked in the history of friend of associations, those are mainly I think pharmaceutical students from non-European countries. So like if they see what we do and they are interested in engaging, I will gladly help them. But for now, we are more focused on our members. Thank you.
Thank you, Maeva. Next, we have Pasifera.
Sylvia Fasfer, Romania. We were wondering if there is any progress being made in contacting the inactive member associations. Thank you.
Maeva.
Maeva VPIA, yes. I reached out to almost all of them and managed to have meeting with some of them to discuss how I can help them with their engagement or why are they inactive and so on. And I can see that it's going okay for now. Like I can see more involvement from some of them. And I will just need to push a bit further for the rest. But you can see that a lot of member associations delivered their LS report this year, for this GA, which is the sign of their involvement now. Thank you.
Thank you, Maeva. Next, we have PPSA.
Joanna, PPSA Poland. I have a question in regards to EPSA meeting members organizations. In your report, you stated that you haven't had any activities in regards to this project, and I would like to ask if you have any strategy how to increase the involvement of member organization in this project. Thank you.
Maeva.
Maeva VPIA. So this first part of the mandate was quite busy with, for the member or also for us with the start of the university, the coronavirus and so on. So I didn't want it to overflood everyone with all the project and activities, but I'm considering after this AA now that things will be a bit more calm to just send an email to LSs to assess who wants that session and when to schedule it and so on. So it will just start properly in a few weeks, months or so.
Thank you, Maeva. Then we have AFOP.
Marlene, AFOP Austria. At the beginning of this mandate, there has been the discussion about EPSA's involvement in social movements. And I was wondering whether you have, after you gathered the information from all the member associations, whether you have taken any other steps or come to any conclusion about this. Thank you.
Maeva.
Maeva VPIA, thank you for the question. Yes, so after gathering the members' inputs, we also reached out to AAB to know what we were able to do in these matters. We also had a meeting with ESU and thanks to Jess Vice President VPEA to see how they were engaging and so on. And now we are trying to build a strategy around that. But I need to admit that I had to lower this point for now, but it will be tackled soon.
Thank you, Maeva. We have a direct from Jess.
Jess VPA. I just want to say that myself and Maeva also discussed this a lot, and we have brought up some topics to the executive, which are some of them which are still under discussion, and we are trying to see how we can push forward with humanitarianism and human rights.
Thank you, Jess. And now we'll move on to the questions from our alumni.
Carolina, Alumni Coordinator. The first one is from Ruben AB. With the possibility of having traveling restrictions until the end of the mandate, are there any concrete options to work on the team bonding and work beside online gatherings?
Maeva?
Maeva, VPIA. So thank you for the question, Ruben. I have started to discuss this with Mihai as we started to brainstorm on different ideas how to engage more the team. I need to admit that we were relying a lot on the possible live team meetings in September to have more bonding and move forward, but now we will just adapt to the online situations. We also started investigating things like sending team materials to each team members to boost the morale and so on. So this is ongoing. Thank you.
Thank you, Maeva. Next, we'll take the second question from alumni.
Carolina, Alumni Coordinator. The second question is from Eva AB. You say a direct approach is best when reaching in less active members. What is their feedback in terms of why they had not been active before you reached them?
Thank you, Carolina. Maeva?
Maeva VPIA, thank you, Eva. So from what I've seen so far, we had dropped with some members, either for a communication issue because they could not access emails, or due to internal matters in their country or associations. So EPSA was not really the priority as they had to secure their own association first. I also observed that some were just lost, and that with some guidance, we could help them become a bit more active. Some LSs also got demotivated when they felt their students or board were not supporting enough regarding EPSA related things. Those are the main causes of those inactivity.
Thank you, Maeva. And then we'll have the last question from alumni.
Yes, thank you, Carolina, Alumni Coordinator. The last one is also from FIAB. What is your experience in terms of making sure that they stay engaged once you manage to reach out to them, meaning the less active members?
Maeva?
Maeva VPIA, so to make sure that they engage at least at the beginning, I need to stay regularly in contact with them or make sure they are aware of what is going on in EPSA so they can find an opportunity which they can engage with. We need to start step by step and then see how big they can grow and engage with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Maeva. Do we have any last questions? I see none. Then we can move in the next point in the agenda, which is the alumni coordinator. Carolina?
Carolina, Alumni Coordinator. So, since writing my report, I have helped with the podcast recording, shared the requests from Maeva and Andrea for alumni and AAB feedback, read the reports, and invited past LSs to become alumni, shared the alumni survey over email, invited the alumni pool to the 60th General Assembly, shared the DGA package with those who were interested in it, helped out with the online Meet Me for organization, and attended the team meeting.
Thank you, Carolina. First, we'll take questions on the updates. I see none, and now we'll move on to questions for the report. SFD, you may start.
Sanja SFD Slovenia. So I have a question. How do you plan to keep alumni engaged due to lack of events regarding COVID-19? Did you think about any alternative ways?
Carolina?
Carolina, Alumni Coordinator. Yes, I have thought of alternative ways. There is an alumni survey out for the alumni to see if they would even be interested in any online activities for them. And so for now, I am just spamming them over social media and email. And for concrete plans, I will come back to you after the alumni survey outcomes.
Thank you, Carolina. Now we'll move on to a question from APEF.
Yes, APEF Portugal, first just a small note because we have some feedback from alumni regarding the short timely noticing about the activities such as GI or even the team meeting. Even though I reached out Maeva and she explained me it was due to the platform capacity, we would like to take this note for future contacts with alumni to be more in advance. However, regarding the alumni survey, do you already have responses? And if yes, are they receptive to the online alumni weekend? Thank you.
Carolina?
First of all, I would like to ask alumni if they have any feedback. I am welcome to hear it from them, so they can always approach me. The second thing is I do have responses from the alumni, but for now the number is so small, which is 15, that I do not want to make any assumptions of what the majority wants.
Thank you, Carolina. Now we have Game PSV.
Kati, Game PSV Netherlands, you mentioned that you asked the alumni if they'd be interested in having an online alumni weekend. How did they respond to this?
Carolina?
Carolina, alumni coordinator. This has been said before. Yes, I have asked them over the alumni survey. The answers, the number of answers is so small that I don't want to make any assumptions about the response from the poll. So for now, nothing. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have PPSA.
Yeah, now EPSA Poland. On behalf of our association, I would like you to thank you for your work that you've done so far. And also, I want to point out that it's a great idea to organize online alumni weekend during the COVID pandemics. I think it will be very beneficial to EPSA and alumni. Thank you.
Thank you. I see no direct from Carolina, and now we'll have the question from alumni.
Carolina, alumni coordinator. First I'll ask the question and then answer it. So this question is from Ruben AB. Is the alumni platform a project that should be dropped? It seems to be hard to put in practice, and I would suggest meeting with AB. Yes, that is the end of the question.
Yes, Carolina.
Thank you. So Carolina, alumni coordinator. So I do not want to drop the project because so many mandates work on it. There is just the map missing from the platform, which is a very little thing to do, but due to the technical issues with the website, for now, there's nothing we can do. And I really am looking forward to the work that can be done after we fix the after IT will fix the issues with the website. Thanks.
Thank you, Carolina. For the moment, there are no more questions in the speaking list. Does anyone have any last questions? I see none, and now we can move to the events coordinator. Oana, you can present your report, your updates on the report.
Oana? Thank you, Oana, events coordinator. So since writing my report, I chaired one meeting with the AA20 RC for final plans, one meeting with a member association, GPSF, who's interested in hosting a future EPSA event. I was in contact with the RCs of AC21 and SU21 for different aspects connected to organization and team meeting, and especially with the RC of AA20 for final preparation, and I also took part in our team meeting.
Thank you, Anna, for the updates. Do we have any questions on the updates? I see none. Now we'll move on to questions on the report. And we'll start with KMPSV.
KMPSV Netherlands, have you received any bids for the Autumn Assembly of 2021? Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Oana?
Wana, events coordinator. So for AA21, no, none until this point, no.
Thank you, Anna. Next, ŠSSFD.
Mojca, ŠSSFD Slovenia. It's a rough and very unreliable year, and we do not know what. Can you hear me?
Apologies, Mojca. I saw now that there was a direct from Katie. My apologies. KMPSV.
Kathy, KMPSV Netherlands. Have you had any contact with associations for their bids, or do you know if anyone is planning on doing a bid, or could you tell something more about that?
Oana?
Wana, events coordinator. Thank you. So for the AA21, we are not currently aware of any association who might be interested, probably because of the, well, really uncertain times we're going through. But as I said, we have interested member associations in hosting future, like AC22, for example, or AA22, but not for AA21.
Thank you, Anna. Another direct from KMPSV.
Kathy, KMPSV Netherlands. What do you plan to do with this? For example, if there won't be any bids for AA21, of course, like now with the whole situation, we are not even sure if the AC21 or the AA21 will be able to happen. But how do you plan on solving the problem? For example, if this would happen, or if this could happen, take place. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have a direct from Mihai, President.
Mihai, President. So if there is no one appointed in this GA, the executive will be able to appoint directly in an OEM later down the road if any member is interested. And if that does not happen, we will brainstorm and discuss possibilities to organize an event, maybe from the EPSA team side, maybe something more simple, maybe to give the possibility to members to do something more simple. We don't know yet. This is a discussion that will come in the executive in the future weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mihai. Direct from Ines, APEF.
Ines, APEF Portugal. Can you just explain a bit more what do you mean with more simple? I know that you probably need to discuss a bit more, but just to understand what do you intend to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ines. Mihai with a direct.
Mihai, President, this is just something that was going through my mind. This was never discussed with the EPSA executive, so I'm speaking on my behalf now. What I was thinking to start a discussion on is to have an event where we are only organizing the educational venue and the program itself and the GA on the side of it, and participants will be in charge of actually finding accommodation and everything else.
Thank you, Mihai. Oana with a direct.
Wana, events coordinator. Yeah, just to add up on it a bit, this is no superficial decision, so I believe it would be best to brainstorm on it and find several different solutions and then present them to the members as well, and also have your feedback, because maybe you've gone through a similar situation and found your own possible solutions to this. So your opinions will also be taken into account, yes.
Thank you, Anna. And now we can take the new point from ŠSSFD.
Mojca, ŠSSFD Slovenia. Will or is already EPSA ready to offer financial help to the association that is ready to organize the event, but too scared due to the situation?
Oana?
Thank you, Mojca. This is again something that needs to be thoroughly discussed within the executive. There are possibilities at times, but this needs to be carefully considered, and we also need to see about partners and several other logistics which would be involved.
Thank you, Anna. Maeva, is it still a direct? Maeva? Yeah, Maeva.
Yes, Maeva VPIA. To add on to what Oana said, this is something that we have in mind and that will be discussed. And when meeting with possible RC member, people interested to bid, these are concerns that we are also taking into consideration when advising them on how to build the whole thing.
Thank you, Maeva. Now we'll have AFOP.
Marlene of Austria. If the changes to the handbook go through, you will have considerably shortened it, and we would like to congratulate you on the work that you have done with it. Our question is, do you plan on expanding it to make like a subject section for online specific events or anything? Because we do believe that this might not be the only time we need to have it online, and therefore you can sum up the experience and hopefully improve the future online events. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll take one of the direct.
Juana, Events Coordinator, thank you very much for your question. Indeed, this is the plan. I also wrote somewhere, I believe, in the report or in my POA, that after we do that kind of investigation and resume of what the AA20 meant in terms of organization and everything, and once we are also done with the survey for the RC, because we also need their opinion on what has been going on, then yes, we will have some kind of, at least if not included in the handbook at first, at least have guidelines. And then when we are super sure on the structure and everything, then add them to the handbook. So yes, they will be written somewhere.
Thank you, Anna. And now we'll have the question from alumni.
Carolina, Alumni Coordinator. This question is from Eva AB. Do you think the RC members being integrated with the team, attending team meetings, etc., will help the team RC collaboration and the development of EPSA events?
Thank you, Carolina. Oana with the direct.
Oana, Events Coordinator. Thank you very much for the question. This is indeed a really interesting idea. I do believe that RC members being closer to the EPSA team through different activities, maybe not only the like team meetings, but other stuff as well. Maybe at least internal affairs department meetings or so on. Yes, it would help them feel more integrated and maybe closer to the team. Up until now, what's been happening was that the main point of connection with the EPSA team was the chairperson, but this also means that the chairperson needs to be super aware that he has a great responsibility and that he needs to put a lot of energy and time into this. And if they fail to be, for example, responsive or super involved, then you will have the whole RC going down on motivation and, well, implementation of plans. So it would be helpful to have them also connected to the EPSA team in some other way so that they don't depend solely on the chairperson. Of course, this does not mean that the chairperson can be less active, but it would be an extra step towards the closeness. So yes, I believe it would be good.
Thank you, Anna. Do we have any further questions? I see none. And now I'll pass facilitation to Elena.
Thank you, Era. And with this, we can move to the next point on the agenda, the chairperson of the 7th EPSA Autumn Assembly. And I would like to ask Riyad to present his updates. Maeva with the technical.
Maeva VPIA, he's joining now. Just give us a few minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. We will wait a few minutes. Svetlana, with the technical.
Yeah, Svetlana, alumna, while we wait, maybe can you give us some instructions on if after this point we are having a break and when are we continuing and with what topics? Thanks.
Yes, no problem. So now we'll discuss the Autumn Assembly Chairperson's report. After this, we'll have a break, and after the break, we'll continue with the educational departments. Mihai with technical. It's dropped. Okay, I see Riyad is in the meeting. So I will please ask him to present his updates.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me, guys? Okay, great. So regarding the updates, can I just, okay, so for the power presentation, I have some problems seeing it. Okay, so as you guys read my report, the news that have been happening lately regarding the registrations, they have been closed. As you all know, we are kind of resolving the backlog of confirmations regarding some participants, mainly from EPSA Turkey and some other associations. The registration period was closed on the 15th of October. Also, the social program is finished. We will be sharing all of the information in the Facebook group for all participants. Also, the educational program promotion and registration will start, I think, tonight or tomorrow. That's the news, latest news regarding that. Also, I wanted to say about the social program that we will have over 300 participants joining over Zoom. So we will be using the platform the same as for the GA and the educational program. That's the big news as well. We didn't have a concrete idea over which platform the social program is going to be. In addition, everything else that has been mentioned in the report, nothing else has changed regarding anything else. And yeah, basically we are set and ready to go starting on the 3rd of November, and hopefully all of the participants are going to have a great time. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and that will be all.
Thank you, Riyad. Are there any questions or comments on the updates? I see none. Then we can move on to the questions on the report. First, we have KNPSV.
Kathy, KNPSV Netherlands. We had some concerns regarding the registration of the education program of the AA. We were wondering why you haven't communicated with us when the maximum amount of participants, like 300, was reached. We as LSS could have used this in our promotion instead of giving our members false hope that there were still places available. In the future, it would have been better if you would have communicated with us through something like a weekly update to keep us up to date on the registration. And actually, we think the overall communication of the AA should have been better because the payment emails, confirmation emails were sent quite late. Additionally, also the LS spreadsheet was updated very little. The registrants who registered after 300 haven't even received anything. They haven't received if they are waitlisted. And in our opinion, those participants should have received an email stating that they were waitlisted and can only attend the event if other people drop out. We of course understand that this increases the workload as an RC, but it would have been more fair to the registrants interested in participating in a program. Problems in communication can lead to a disinterest in participating in EPSA events in the future, and this is really something we don't want for EPSA, because EPSA provides us with many opportunities, and it would be very bad if EPSA gets a bad image because the registrations are insufficient. Thank you.
Riyad?
Yes, Katie, thank you for your input, and I completely agree with you. We had some kind of substantial issues regarding registrations, mainly because we had some backlog. There was a technical issue with EPSA's account regarding financials, and that is why confirmation emails were kind of sent out a bit late, but the problem has been resolved, and now we still have that kind of backlog confirming participants that registered in time. And yes, I completely agree with you on that, but we have been doing our best, and hopefully all of the participants who are within the quota will also attend the event.
Maeva with the direct.
Maeva VPIA, yes, and to add to what Riyad said, I understand your concern, Kati, but indeed, usually even if we reach a number of registration that is up to the number of spots that we have for the events, we don't close the registration because it might happen that some people will cancel and not pay. That's why we still keep the registration open until the end of the registration period. However, I'm taking what you're saying into consideration, and maybe for the next time, we can try to at least let you know when that number is reached, even if the registrations are continuing. Thank you.
KMPSV with the direct.
I wanted to comment on Maeva because we understand that you don't have to close the registrations, but it would have been nice if we as LSs would have known when when the amount of participants was reached, because now I said to some members who were interested in joining that there will probably still be places available when this wasn't the case. And aside from and then on my comment or direct on chat, of course we understand that the checking of the payments might take a while, but you could have also sent as an update, or the registrants an update with sorry, but we are having some technical issues. Your payment might be a bit delayed, but it will be coming.
Thank you for that, and please state your name and association the next time you speak. And after this, I see no more points on the speaking list. KMPSV with a new point.
Regarding the people who will maybe drop out, what will exactly happen to the new participants? Will the people on the waiting list be rapidly notified, as it might take them a while to finalize the payment and the start of the educational program is already rapidly approaching? Thank you.
And again, KMPSV, I would like to ask you to state your name and association when you speak. Maeva with the direct.
Maeva VPIA, we are currently still finalizing everything like registration, educational program registrations, and so on. That's why we are a bit in the rush now, but by tomorrow, all of the remaining people will know what are their status, if they still need to pay or if it's totally off for them. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, and with the delay, it was not easy to manage everything online, last minute, and so on. But be assured that we're making everything we can to have everyone settled on this. Thank you.
Riyad with the direct.
Riyad CHP, yes, I would just like to emphasize the same as Maeva said. We do apologize for the inconvenience, and we also will try to finish everything by tomorrow. There has been some issues, but we are trying our best, and so far we don't believe there will be an issue with the majority of the participants. So hopefully this is going to be something that we can resolve with no problem.
Next, we have KNPSV new points.
Kati, KNPC the Netherlands. We are still very confident that the AA program will be good, and we are hoping that the program will be successful, but it would be great if upcoming RCs choose their registrations offers carefully based on the capability and free time. The workload is quite high, as you could have seen, and you should have sufficient time to invest in the project and fulfill this position, because like this, it isn't sufficient. Thank you.
I see no more comments or questions on the speaking order list. Mihai with the technical.
Mihai, President, since I see we are done with the point, we should take a break now. After the break, we will discuss the educational department, and then we will have two motions in block to vote. First of all, the executive reports, and then the reports of the EPSA coordinators. I would like to ask you to write in the chat 20 or 30 if you'd like a 20-minute break or 30-minute break, considering what is going to happen next and how much time it will take. I see very mixed feelings. We're gonna do 25, we're gonna meet halfway. It is now 15:54 by my clock. We'll meet at 4:20, so at like 16:20. And I would like to ask Daniela to do the roll call.
My pleasure. Okay, we're starting. AFO Austria, VPSO Belgium, SAFOM Bosnia and Herzegovina, VPHSA Bulgaria, CPSA Croatia, CPSA Cyprus, USF Czech Republic, JURS Estonia, FIPSA Finland, ANEP France, VPHT Germany, GPSF Greece, HUPSA Hungary, IPSA Ireland, LPSA Latvia, SFD Lithuania, MPSA North Macedonia, KIDO, ENDOPIDO, ESDOPIDO Netherlands, NOPSA Norway, PPSA Poland, ANEP, APF Portugal, FASFER Romania, NAPSR Serbia, SPSA Slovakia, SHUSTSA for Slovenia, FEF Spain, SNAP Sweden, NASAP Switzerland, UPSA International Turkey, BPSA United Kingdom. Okay, we have 27 voting members present.
And I suspend the standing orders.